Don't you think there's some kind of irony in the fact that, like, we put every last dollar we had into buying this house and now we have nowhere to live? Like, what is the universe trying to tell us? We are back in Geneva. We were away in the mountains for 3 weeks, and now we're back in the city. When we wanted to start looking for a house here in Switzerland, the first question that we had was whether or not it was even possible for us to buy a house as Americans. And it turns out the answer is yes. There are some restrictions on what you're able to buy based on the type of visa that you have. Mostly it's that the house has to be used as your primary residence, and I don't think it can be bigger than 3,000 square meters, which is a pretty sizable plot, and we didn't really have that issue when we were looking at houses. I talked to the notary because we've been trying to get a hold of the owner of the house to change the date of the exchange of the keys, the remise. Right now the date is for September 1st. We wanted it to be earlier, so August 1st or August 15th. However, we signed the venta term as September 1st because we didn't want to have any delays, and that was kind of a big mistake because now the kids start school and we don't have a place to live. We got to figure out where we're going to live for the next month. We're staying at this temporary place, and it's somebody's home, so they have all these new toys for our kids to discover. And they have the most insane collection of Peppa Pig characters. I'm obsessed with these little Peppa Pig figurines. So we have me and Kyle, our broker, Candy Cat, the seller, I think this is another Peppa Pig, and then the seller's broker, another Peppa Pig. We made an offer, then like several weeks later, our offer was accepted. Once the offer is accepted, then you work with a notary who's very important because the notary here in Switzerland, they write out your venta term, which is a legal contract that binds the sale of the house. 1 week after we had our offer accepted, we went to the notary, and the notary created this contract, and she read it out loud to us to make sure that we understood everything, and then we signed it. And this is where we really made a mistake, because in the venta term, you say what date you want to close or get the keys. And we agreed to the September 1st move-in date, even though it doesn't really make any sense to be moving such a crazy period of time, like the first 2 weeks of school. But we were thinking at the time, we'd probably stay on our rental. We just really wanted to move things forward. So we just signed it. And then in a lot of cases, you can negotiate the date afterwards. And people just want to get the deal done, so then they'll move the date or change the date to an earlier date. It's actually only 3 months, which is, I think, short for here. But it feels like it's such a long time because we are moving from place to place. We're just gonna have to find a temporary accommodation and make do with the situation. So it's Swiss National Day, and we're in the car. We're gonna go to this village to do some festivities.
It's like the July 4th of Switzerland, without the hot dogs.
I think there's hot dogs. There's like there's sausages.
No, sausages.
There's saucies for sure.
Sausage, pretzels, mustard.
To get a loan in Switzerland for the purchase of your house, it is not always a straightforward or easy process.
It's very complicated first to get financing as an American with any bank in Switzerland. The second issue with our financing was that I do not have stable income. So I'm an independent worker, I have my own business, which is all fine, but the Swiss don't really understand the creator economy or agencies and the business model.
I don't think it's that they don't understand the creator economy. I think that it's the same for any person. Like, you could own a restaurant or have a salon business.
No, they said if I was a lawyer or a doctor.
Well, that's different because you would assume that there's constant revenue coming in if you're a lawyer or a doctor. But for other things, the banks take a more conservative view here, and so if you run your own marketing agency like Kyle, then they're like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to have any money to pay us.
They require 3 years of historical income for independent companies. And so I was only operating for 2 years, so they actually only assumed half of my income when calculating how much we could actually finance and get a mortgage for.
So what we did is they have like third-party companies here, and basically they take your file and they shop you around to a bunch of different banks, and they try to find the best terms for you. They shopped it around to like
20 or
maybe
30
20 banks, yeah. And
it's like banks, insurances,
and
brokerages, all kinds of different
two banks
financial institutions.
got back to us and agreed to finance us. So we're very lucky to have been able to find a bank that would work with us.
This video is sponsored by UBS.
They did like a full colonoscopy of our finances. The person that we worked with knew everything about our life. Like, he knew when my period was coming. Seriously. So, yeah, we are in the midst of considering our options for where we're going to live. We have 3 more weeks that we have to figure out in terms of housing.
3 more weeks?
I mean, like, we're in the house that we're in now for 1 week.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have 2 weeks after that, which now we know for sure we have to find another place. So luckily, there's an Airbnb that is in our neighborhood still available for the second 2 weeks. So that could be a good solution. It's just the middle week that we sort of need to figure out.
Well, and it's really expensive. We tried to avoid this place, and now we're just biting the bullet because we have literally no other option. Except for, we could go camping. We could do a camper van. We know a guy who's got a camper van. We could go to the mountains. We could all just, rough it up a little bit for a couple
So we're not
days.
going camping. We're going to book this expensive Airbnb, and then we have another week that we will either book an Airbnb, a different Airbnb, or we have a friend that has a place in Megève, and we might go up to Megève, which that would be a great option.
We love Megève. Kids love Megève. It's great. It's great in the summer. A lot of things to do.
And we always have a wonderful time there. There are worse things than going to
the French Alps.
To the French Alps.
After you've gone to the Swiss Alps. Yeah.